Hello NFL fans and welcome back to another Wall of NFL video. This video, I'm still in LA, so it's going to still be a little bit different to how it has been so far on this channel in the first few weeks of the season. But I'm at my mother-in-law's house and got a free morning, so I thought I'd make a quick recap of the Week 12 games. Now, of course, it was Thanksgiving last week and we were super busy, so we didn't get to review any of those games on Friday, but it was a bit embarrassing for the Saints anyway, so I'm not too bothered about missing those ones. The Saints lost 31-6, and I think it's safe to say that Trevor Siemian is not the answer at quarterback. I'm really hoping Taysom Hill can get back sooner rather than later, because the Saints are really struggling, and I think he'll add another dynamic to the offense that Trevor Siemian just can't do. Trevor Siemian, he's not a very mobile quarterback, and Taysom Hill, he'll add something a little bit, and maybe it'll be an offense a little bit more similar to the Ravens, for example, rather than Trevor Siemian, who just drops back, sits in the pocket and throws the ball around. So after that big loss, I'm really hoping Taysom Hill can get back for the Saints. The Raiders and the Cowboys played quite an incredible game. I missed the last 2 minutes because me and Rebecca had to go to her dad's place for Thanksgiving, but it was a great game and very close in the end. The Raiders really dominated that first half, and the Cowboys came right back into it and really got the Raiders really close at the end. So it was quite an impressive performance, kind of from both sides. Let's just not really talk about the Bears and the Lions. That one just not good. Matt Nagy doesn't look like he's going to be lasting a huge amount of time longer. On Sunday morning, I started watching the Buccaneers and the Colts. Watched the first half of that one. The Colts actually started really strong, I thought. And I know a lot of people are tooting the Buccaneers horn a lot and saying, oh, 5 turnovers and all that. But from what I saw in the first half, and of course the second half is much more important because that's the half that decides the game. But the first half, the Colts started really well. I thought they were very dynamic on offense, and even when Jonathan Taylor was being stuffed quite a bit by the Buccaneers defense, Carson Wentz was still able to get it done. He made a massive 62-yard bomb to one of his lesser-known receivers. I think his name was Duvalin or something like that. And it was just a massive play. After church, though, we headed over to Rebecca's sister's place, and we watched the Rams against the Packers. And the Rams against the Packers was a really good game, but not because it was really close and down to the wire, but it was a lot of quality. The Packers look unbelievable this season. Even without so many starters, they don't have their best offensive lineman, Bakhtiari. They have a lot of players missing defensively. I think Jair Alexander still wasn't playing for the Packers on Sunday. And it was just really impressive performance by the Packers. I've got to say, Aaron Rodgers, if they really need to keep him around next year, because the Packers, without Aaron Rodgers, they will not be the same team next season. The Rams have really struggled against top teams. I think they're 1-3 against winning teams, and that's really embarrassing for the Rams. I'm starting to think that at the start of the season, I thought it was between them and the Buccaneers for who was going to get to the Super Bowl in the NFC. But now I'm kind of thinking that they don't really have a chance. Very similar to the Chargers. I thought both teams, LA teams, were going to be really good. But the Rams, they've really dropped off, and it doesn't seem to be that they can beat the top teams in the NFL. I mean, the Packers are just a level above every other team, it seems, because they dominate against everyone without all of their starters on the field. But the Rams, they really need to fix up. I think missing Robert Woods is a big problem for them, because Odell, even since he came, he had a decent game, made 1 or 2 plays, but nowhere near the level that Robert Woods is. Cooper Kupp, he kind of went missing, so I think that Matthew Stafford needs to kind of sort himself out a little bit, find Cooper Kupp a little bit more, get Odell into the mix a bit more. They just need to improve a lot on offense, I think. Their aging offensive line might be a bit of a problem going in later on into the season now. They were fantastic in the first half of the season, but that age, they could be getting banged up a little bit, and they did certainly struggle against the Packers. The Bengals, big shout out to the Bengals. I didn't watch that game on Sunday, but beating the Steelers 41-10, and that is a clean sweep now for the Bengals. And I just think that they really are going to get to the playoffs this year. I'm really impressed by Joe Burrow. He's made strides compared to how he was last year. And yeah, I'm very impressed. Joe Mixon especially, they have a really good balance between passing and running. And I think that goes down to Zach Taylor. And it seems to me, I didn't really know whether Zach Taylor was the real deal or not as a head coach, but it seems to me like he's made some really good decisions, and he's taking the Bengals in a good direction. One of the other games I wanted to talk about was the Patriots and the Titans. I didn't actually see this game either, but the Patriots are outscoring their opponents by over 100 points in their last 3 home games. The Patriots, I didn't think they'd be that good still without Tom Brady, but they've been really, really good. Mac Jones, he doesn't look like a rookie at all. So if anyone else wins Rookie of the Year, I'll eat my hat. I just think the Patriots, defensively, they've been excellent as well. Held the Falcons to 0, held the Titans to 13. I know the Titans were without Derrick Henry, which is a big problem for them going forward, but the Patriots still held a really good Titans team to only 13 points and also scored 36, and the Titans defense has been playing very well as of late. Of course, they were the number 1 seed in the AFC for quite a long period of time in the last few weeks, but now the Patriots, they are looking like the team to beat for sure in the AFC. The 49ers are also back on track with their season. Deebo Samuel is playing amazingly this season. He had 2 rushing touchdowns yesterday, and of course, he's a wide receiver, so he's really a dynamic player and gives a great option for Jimmy Garoppolo to spread the ball around to him, George Kittle, and of course, Brandon Ayuk. They have a lot of weapons, and Deebo Samuel is standing head and shoulders above the rest of all of those top players. I think the 49ers, if they continue to give the ball to Deebo Samuel and continue to be really fantastic running the ball, because they were yesterday with Eli Mitchell, they're definitely going to make the playoffs. I think the fact that the Vikings are in the playoffs with their 5-6 record also says a lot as well. Kirk Cousins didn't have the best game yesterday. He threw his 3rd interception of the year, which is, I think, fewest in the NFL that have started quite a substantial number of games. I think Russell Wilson maybe less, but he started a lot less than Kirk Cousins due to injury. But the Vikings and Kirk Cousins, they're having a good year, so this is a big win for the 49ers. I think Sunday Night Football was a little bit of a letdown in some ways. There were really not many points scored. There were 5 turnovers though for the Ravens, I think it was, with 4 interceptions from Lamar Jackson, which is I think it's his career high in interceptions. And he just didn't get a lot going. But, I mean, neither did the Browns. It was a very defensive game, very tight. And I think that last minute in the second quarter kind of really summed up the game. I think there were 3 turnovers within the last couple of minutes. And it was just crazy to see. I missed a little bit of that second half, though, because me, Rebecca, and a couple of Rebecca's family members, we went to watch Kevin Hart at a comedy club. So did miss a little bit, got a bit distracted, but I don't think it really the game didn't change an awful lot. Only 1 touchdown was scored by each team, and I mean, yeah, just very defensive, kind of sloppy with the turnovers, but I think there was a few questions now going around about Baker Mayfield being the starting quarterback for the Browns. I think Baker Mayfield, he's not quite the guy. I know he's been struggling with injuries, but was he really that great before he had a lot of injuries either? I certainly don't think so. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. This is my last video in LA as our vacation comes to an end on Tuesday. I don't know when I'll post this, but yeah, it'll come to an end soon, and videos will be looking very similar to how they were in the first 10 weeks of the season. So thank you guys so much for watching. Check out my other videos where I went to SoFi Stadium and also the Grand Canyon. They were some of my favorite videos, not because I had the most amazing NFL content, but I also went to some amazing places and had an absolute great time. So check those out if you can, and also check out wallofnfl.com, as I've been updating that a little bit more than the YouTube channel over the last couple of weeks. Head to our social media pages, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter and Facebook for a lot of updates from Wall of NFL, and both on the website and YouTube channel, so check those out to stay tuned with what I'm doing. Yeah, and thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below what you thought about week 12 and how your Thanksgivings were if you celebrated.